Da, 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 da. Here we are, bro. What's up, y'all? I'm JC, and you're watching Jose Calamari. Welcome to another reaction on the channel, bro. Today, man, my boy JJ sent a recommendation, bro. Chilling scares. YouTubers that became murderers. I'm a YouTuber. I'm not gonna ever become no murderer, but I'm like, who in the world was online with a YouTube personality, and then off camera you killing people? That's crazy. And then every video that you have online from that point onward, if your channel's not terminated, you're gonna be thought of, oh man, this man killed somebody, bro. That's crazy. Anyways, bro, this dude chilling scares. We were jumping to this thing, dude. Right off the bat, some dude named Vinny Bat 1818, 103 videos, 192 subscribers. I only have 101 subscribers, bro. I wish I was him. Not as in like the murder part, it's just as in the subscriber part. Let's get to the video, bro.
Vinny Bad 118 was a YouTube channel owned and operated by Vincent Badaloro from New Jersey. He'd been active on YouTube since 2021 and mainly streamed himself playing sports games like MLB The Show.
Okay.
On September 30, 2025, he went live with another one of these streams. And for someone stumbling onto this live broadcast, nothing about it felt odd. That is, until they started watching and noticed his chat asking him odd questions like, are you going to jail? And how are you going to get paid in jail? Things became even more strange when some of his viewers started calling him a killer over and over again. However, this label wasn't an exaggeration. As it turned out, Vincent was hosting this stream less than a day after allegedly ending the lives of two teenage girls in a neighboring town.
Oh, I heard about this, bro. Oh my gosh. I heard about this dude. I was watching, I don't know what I was watching, bro. It was like, I'll be watching like true crime stuff mixed with like paranormal stuff for my time off. And it was somebody covering like, it was a commentary channel. I think it was a commentary channel covering like this dude wound up getting away with like instead of serving jail time, this dude got away with it after like a sexual harassment and like murdering two girls. He apparently got like not customer service, like what's that junk calls where you gotta pick up trash and stuff on community service. I'm sorry, I've been drinking. This nigga got community service, bro, and like a slap on the wrist after murdering two chicks, bro. Like I was like, what the
He didn't seem the
let
least
him
bit
in black though, no racial.
The incident happened on September 29th,
like
just before 5:30
jail.
p.m. 17-year-old Maria Niotis and Isabella Salas were riding e-bikes in a residential neighborhood in Cranford, New Jersey, when they were suddenly hit by a speeding car, seemingly out of nowhere. The crash was loud enough to get the attention of nearby residents. People rushed to help. Unfortunately, it was already too late.
Describe what those calls to police sounded like moments after Maria Niotis and Isabella Salas were mowed down by a black SUV driven by another teenager.
There's a girl on the road and there's a car. Oh my God, please hurry.
So there's two females?
By the time first responders arrived at the scene, both girls had already passed away. But what made the incident even more disturbing was just how shockingly violent it was. Later investigation revealed the car was going close to 70 miles per hour, or over 110 kilometers an hour, in a neighborhood with a speed limit of just 25 miles per hour, or roughly 40 kilometers per hour. The resulting collision sent the girls flying across the street, with one victim coming to rest approximately 100 feet from the impact site. According to eyewitness reports, the driver tried to drive away immediately after the incident, but the crash was so violent that the impact had launched one of the e-bikes into the car, forcing the driver to ditch it and flee on foot. Fortunately, this allowed investigators to run the license plate and trace the car back to its driver, 17-year-old Vincent Badaloro. Vincent was called in for questioning. It's unclear what exactly he told the police, but since the investigators didn't have any solid evidence of his personal involvement, he was let go the same night. The investigators were also treating this as an accident by this point, so they had no ground to detain Vincent just yet. However, this changed completely when one of the victims' families learned about Vincent's potential involvement. According to Maria's family, Vincent had been stalking and harassing her for months by that point. They went to the same school, and Vincent was reported to have tormented her during multiple different instances. The two had never gotten along. Vincent would also allegedly follow Maria around anytime she went outside, and neighbors even saw him staking out her house in his car on multiple occasions. This behavior only worsened after Maria reported him to the school authorities about a month before the incident, with him becoming even more aggressive and making false police reports, even leading to her family getting swatted multiple times. In one of his streams, he mentioned having a vengeance against Maria and even dedicated one of his old phones to harassing her, starting with ordering a pizza to her address.
That's crazy.
Here's what we're gonna do. I think Maria's hungry. I think we're gonna send her a pizza. Sure.
And you're recording yourself
So
online being stupid.
y'all know I haven't been
Being a stalker.
this girl. I'm gonna call a pizza.
You know
to
I have
her
a vengeance
house.
against this
Here's
girl. He's
how I'm gonna
announcing
do
it.
Investigation also revealed that Vincent's own parents had called the police 4 times regarding his increasingly violent and out-of-control behavior
Oh, this
over
must
the
be a
last few
different dude.
months. He was becoming more erratic, and combined with Maria getting him in trouble at school, was likely harboring deep resentment
I don't know if
towards
this is
her.
the same dude,
Put
bro, but
simply,
I'm sure
there was a
earlier.
strong chance that what happened wasn't an accident. He possibly wanted to take his anger out on Maria, and Isabel was just collateral in his messed up plan.
That's a shame.
Now, while the investigators were piecing all this together, Vincent decided to go live on YouTube and pretend like everything was completely normal. However, people in his community had learned
should
about his
go to
possible
jail.
involvement in the case by this point,
Oh, there's
resulting in
one
the
with
chat
ass in the
messages we
chat.
mentioned earlier. He tried to dismiss these messages as just hate comments and drama, but eventually decided to address the situation in the vaguest terms possible.
In a neighboring town, unfortunately, 2 girls were killed in a hit-and-run crash.
You did it.
Now, there has been a lot of misinformation going on over the internet. It is an absolute unfortunate situation, and there's more to the story that you're not getting. But when the time comes, I will explain it in greater detail.
He was likely speaking this way to avoid an accidental admission of guilt. However, this stream could still help investigators bring him to justice. You see, while he was live on YouTube, investigators were gathering evidence to prove that he was behind the wheel. This led to the discovery of ring camera footage from a nearby street, showing him speeding in the neighborhood before the incident and then walking back on foot minutes after everything went down. This, combined with eyewitness testimonies, allowed investigators to
wanted to
arrest
see
him
him
a day
hit the
later on
girls and
October
then walk out the
1st and charge
vehicle.
him with 2
No one
counts of
followed him.
first-degree murder. His channel has since been terminated by YouTube. Prosecutors are also pushing to have Vincent tried as an adult to
Okay,
secure
this is
the
not
full
the same dude.
sentence
It's a
they
different
believe he
dude. This is another
deserves.
dude, bro, that did some SA to females and got away with it. Man, bro, nobody care about this.
As an adult to secure the full sentence they believe he deserves.
I'm recording this because I want my daughter to know that I love you, Mackenzie Pascal. I'm so sorry that I've done this. I want you to know that you mean everything to me.
What'd you do?
This was the final video 48-year-old Trent Pascal uploaded to YouTube on October 21st, 2020. His content up until that point was a mix of family vlogs, DIY tips, and RC toy reviews. He came across as a laid-back, middle-aged dad enjoying time with his family, but the video he uploaded in October 2020 was different. It wasn't a wholesome vlog or toy review with his kids. Instead, this was a confession Trent posted to YouTube after committing a heartless crime just so he could paint himself as the victim. The day started off rough with Trent having a massive argument with his wife, Savannah. Details of what exactly caused this argument are unknown, but according to some reports, it had something to do with Trent's overprotective and envious personality. He was reportedly very insecure about the 18-year age gap between him and Savannah.
18
he saw
years?
anyone even remotely close
That's
to her as a
weird.
threat and tried to control every aspect of her life,
That's
which also
weird.
led to many clashes between the two over the years.
18
Regardless of the
years,
reason,
bro.
the argument on October
That's
21st
weird.
ended with Savannah dropping their 2 kids at school and then driving over to live at their mother Shirley's house in Lamarck, Texas. Neighbors also saw Trent storming out not long after. Savannah and Shirley went out to check on the kids at school later that day before returning home at around noon. Shirley went straight to the master bedroom to freshen up, but nothing could have prepared her for what was waiting for her inside. The moment she stepped into the bathroom, Trent leaped out from behind the shower curtain with a firearm in his hand. And before she could even register what was going on,
Damn.
Trent announced that he was going to end both her and Savannah and opened fire.
Why?
Fortunately, he missed the mark, giving Shirley the opportunity to escape to a neighbor's house and call for help.
This nigga missed.
Sadly, Savannah wasn't as lucky. Trent managed to shoot her twice in the stomach before fleeing the scene. She was rushed to the hospital, but passed away shortly after. Though, while Savannah was fighting for her life, Trent uploaded this video to his now deleted second channel explaining his reasoning for the heinous crime. He accused Savannah of cheating on him and claimed that she was the one who made him do this. However, to most people who came across this video, it was clear that Trent posted the video so he could portray himself as the victim. He even seems to try a fake crime multiple times during the video, but fails to shed a single tear. Many also assumed the cheating accusation was likely false, but even if it wasn't, it was still no justification for taking her life. That said, the most disturbing part of this video was the very end, which showed Trent hearing a noise and immediately rushing to hide in a dark room. Closely listening to this section revealed a plastic rustling noise, similar to what shower curtains sound like when moved. In other words, Trent was possibly recording this final message in Shirley's home moments before they arrived, and then quickly ran to the bathroom when he heard the two pull into the driveway. He fled Lamarck immediately after committing the crime, prompting a statewide manhunt. This ended with the police tracking him down to a Walmart parking lot in Houston later the same day. However, Trent drew his firearm on the officers and refused to back down despite repeated warnings. This left deputies with no choice but to open fire, hitting him several times across the abdomen. He was then taken to a hospital where he spent over a month recovering from his wounds. He was eventually booked into the Galveston County Jail on charges of murder, aggravated assault, and possession of a firearm.
If I'm gonna die,
now,
I'm dying.
This is usually where stories like this end, but that's not what happened with Trent. Despite the deeply violent nature of his crimes, he was allowed to leave on bail after paying $550,000.
God damn.
He was fitted with a GPS ankle monitor and ordered to stay at his mother's house until his conviction.
Nigga,
Trent
what?
initially complied with these orders, but on April 13th, 2021, he removed his ankle monitor, stole a car at knife point after taking it on a test drive from a dealership, and vanished without a trace.
What?
This triggered a massive multi-state manhunt. The police spent months looking for Trent, but he was still nowhere to be found. This also left Savannah's family in a constant state of fear, as Trent could show up at any time to cause further harm. The run finally ended nearly 9 months later in January 2022 when the U.S. Marshals received a tip that a man matching Trent's description was staying at a small RV park in Ocala, Florida. Officers rushed to the scene and surrounded a van where they believed he was hiding. But before they could break in and apprehend Trent, he decided to end everything on his own, robbing Savannah's family of seeing any justice through the legal system.
This nigga said he meant he's not going to jail.
Lane Maurice Davis joined YouTube all the way back in September 2009 under the name Seattle for Truth. Most of his videos have since been deleted by YouTube for policy violations, but they were mainly about right-wing political commentary and rants about current events. Some of these videos also revolved around Lane trying to prove various conspiracy theories. Lane also did an internship under British far-right commentator Milo Yiannopoulos at one point, though it didn't last very long. So his YouTube channel was the only thing Lane focused on for most of his adult life. But while he did have a sizable following across socials, most of his videos didn't attract enough viewers to provide a sustainable income. This forced Lane to live with his parents and rely on them for monetary needs, which apparently was a major source of tension in their relationship. His parents also had differing political views from their son, leading to frequent arguments, especially with his father Charles. And the back and forth on the night of July 14, 2017 started off as no different. As the argument became more heated, his mother Catherine dialed 911 and calmly asked for assistance, stating, "He's not physically threatening us or anything, he just gets out of control and he's ranting about stuff from the internet. He's not working and he just gets on these rampages and he just needs to move on. He just lives on the internet and he gets really worked up about everything that's going on. He needs an intervention of some kind here." The dispatcher instructed Catherine and Charles to keep their distance until the police arrived, but she downplayed the threat, saying she'd seen many similar outbursts in the past and they wouldn't turn violent. Unfortunately, she couldn't have been more wrong. Because just a few minutes later, Catherine dialed 911 again, and this time in a far more frantic state, screaming phrases like, "He stabbed him," and repeating, "He's dead," over and over again. Officers were already on their way from the first call Catherine made and reached the house within minutes. Inside, they found Charles lying on the floor with his clothes covered in blood. According to reports, Lane became even more aggressive after the first 911 call and stabbed his father multiple times with a kitchen knife.
That's
crazy. By the time police arrived, Charles had already passed away. Lane likely regretted his decision immediately, as officers saw him standing outside the front door with his hands in the air, waiting to be arrested. He later pleaded guilty to second-degree murder as part of a plea deal and was sentenced to 17 years in prison.
17 for killing his dad? 17, bro. That's all he gets.
This is the most
Whatever,
addictive
bro.
game in 2025.
No one care
one can
about
build
this
a perfect
game.
shelter.
Get this out of my
In the
face,
game,
bro.
you are abandoned.
He got
In
mad.
many of these
Nobody was
cases, the transition from content creator to criminal is marked by a clear, calculated decision. But with Jessica Worsham, known online as the Indigo Mystic on YouTube, the path was much more blurred, with her channel serving as a digital diary for a woman who was visibly losing her grip on reality. Jessica started her channel in 2013 to post occasional videos on whatever topics grabbed her interest that day. Her content was relatively harmless, with nothing too attention-grabbing, at least at first. As her personal life began to fracture, the tone shifted dramatically. It started with her getting divorced from her husband. It's unclear what the reason for this divorce was, possibly something to do with her deteriorating mental state. Regardless of the reason though, it left her in charge of her 2 daughters. However, she didn't have any place to stay at the time.
Ew.
So, one of her friends allowed her to stay at one of their properties for free until they found a buyer
Oh, that's
for
nice.
it. They were likely expecting to sell the home in a few months. But the process ended up taking 3 long years. And when it was finally time to hand over the keys, Jessica intervened. Instead of being grateful for being able to stay there for 3 years for free,
3
she
years for
refused
free?
to leave and even took her friend to court over it.
Are you
She
serious?
understandably
Nigga, you got that comfortable, nigga. Your friend let you stay for 3 years. I understand, bro. It's not even like it's supposed to be like that. But we as human beings, bro, we depend on how we were brought up and how things are. You get comfortable. You get comfortable. That's the word I'm gonna say. And maybe she got comfortable. Her friend did a great deed for her, and she got comfortable, overly comfortable, with the idea of, oh, you're helping me out, so this should be permanently mine. No, she gave you 3 years to get on top of your feet. I don't know your financial state. I don't know what you was doing. The fact that you was on YouTube, if you wasn't getting it on views, you should have been working. Hey, the job giving you that paycheck, the YouTube is just a dream in the meanwhile. Until you hit that 1,000,000 subscribers, that 800, 500K subscribers, and you can quit your main 9 to 5, that's just a dream. Trust me, I'm going through it as we speak. But the fact that you 3 years and you didn't lock in on saving money, you didn't like, what were you doing, bro? And then you got mad because she wants to do what she want with her property. Nah, fam, you got comfortable, bro. You got too comfortable.
lost in court and was forced to move out. This upended the life she'd built over the last 3 years and marked the beginning of her downfall. The stress of losing her home, combined with her pre-existing mental conditions, proved disastrous. She refused to accept the reality and became delusional, thinking that the judges were part of some evil group alongside her family members and were out to get her and her
Sorry,
daughters.
what?
So the first person I would like to mention is Alan Berriman. He is my uncle, and he has been working with my other family members, one Angie Griffith. She lives in Danielsville. And also a Denise Cantrell, who is my maternal parent. And my sister, Crystal Christian, okay? They've all been working in league with a judge, a magistrate judge that works at the Jackson County Courthouse named Benjamin Green. He's been doing under the table type things that he's not supposed to be doing, and
So you
Alan
exposing
Berriman and
people?
those mentioned afterwards have been in league with this particular judge individual, and to steal my home from me.
It's not yours.
Jessica began posting videos ranting about these made-up conspiracies, like how the government was trying to depopulate
You
the
not getting
world with the
sleep. I can
COVID
see it in your eyes,
vaccines.
bitch.
She was clearly losing her grip on
Oh, yeah, you
reality,
losing your
even
shit for
posting
real.
videos directly addressing the judge
You know she
she
needs some
believed
dick
had
in her
wronged
life,
her in the
right? She's not
past.
getting wood. That's the
Anyway,
problem.
this message is for Benjamin Green. I know you're watching me, and I know you're scared. And you should be. Dingledorf, he's too scared. He's too scared to even try to communicate with me telepathically.
I bet you if Benjamin Green was dicking her down, right, bro? I'm sorry, bro. I don't even know what she did. I apologize. This is not even a joke. I apologize for everybody who lost, whoever they lost, whatever family member is deceased at this point. They shouldn't die like that. But on a side note, bro, if Benjamin was the dude, come on, if he was digging her down, bro, and he had her like, stay in my place, you know what I'm saying? I got you. Putting that wood on her, I guarantee this wouldn't even be a conversation, bro.
You're scared, aren't you, Benji? Ben. Good old Benji. You used to be a good person, didn't you, Benji? You did. You used to actually have the desire for justice. And the desire to do good by people. What happened? What happened? Did you let the greed of the world get to you? Did you let that secret society that you're a part of talk you into all this stuff?
Why are you recording
However,
this?
this was only the beginning. The situation truly began to unravel when her ex-husband filed for custody of their 2 daughters in mid-2021.
Oh, he said you gotta take care of my kids and you delusional? Oh yeah, you got to get the bro.
Husband filed for custody of their 2 daughters in mid-2021.
That's what he like, you got to go.
Jessica
You
didn't
have
have a
to
solid
go.
roof over her head and wasn't sending the 2 girls to school either. Her behavior online was also becoming more and more erratic
And what's
with
with
each
them big
passing
ass
day.
headphones?
In addition to her rambling about topics that made little sense, she also posted videos waving around the firearm she had, threatening
she's
anyone who wanted to
tripping.
get in her way. Put simply, she was becoming dangerous to her own children. Her ex-husband filed for temporary custody until Jessica found
kids out.
proper residence and got professional help for her degrading mental state. But in her delusions, Jessica saw this as yet another attack on her from the same group that took away her home.
Get the kids out.
Today is a rather unfortunate day, to be honest with you. I'm actually going to court today against some people that are trying to take my children from me. The same people that took my home from me. the Jackson County court system.
She still could have had a chance to stay with her daughters, but on the day of the hearing, she refused to enter the courthouse, further highlighting her unstable mental state to the judge. The custody was awarded to her ex-husband until Jessica was deemed capable of resuming responsibility. This was a chance for her to actually work on improving her situation, but Jessica didn't see it that way. Sadly, she was already too far gone and decided to go on the run with her daughters instead.
What?
She stayed on the move for the next couple of months, moving from place to place, all while posting increasingly unhinged monologues on YouTube.
Mine, 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 mine. They're my babies. And I love them above anything else.
How old are the kids?
I love them like I love God. And I'll do anything, including lay my life down for them.
Okay, I understand you love your
And I know that's
kids,
what you wish for.
but
Jessica also felt the need to record and post to YouTube almost everything that happened in her life. She'd gone as far as to instruct her daughters to start recording whenever anything notable happened. What she didn't know was that one of these recordings would end up scarring them for life. The incident happened on November 5th, 2021, with Jessica getting into an argument with the owners of the house she was living in. The dispute escalated to the point where the owners asked her to leave the house, and when she refused, they contacted the police to have her removed. However, as soon as the officers pulled into the driveway, Jessica opened the front door with her firearm in her hand and
Whoa.
opened fire. One of the shots hit 43-year-old Sheriff's Deputy Lena Marshall,
No.
sending her to the hospital where
She's
she
gonna
tragically
fine.
passed away just a few days later.
Oh, you killed
The
that
other
fine
officers
woman?
opened fire in retaliation, hitting Jessica multiple times, all while her daughters heard and recorded everything inside the house. Jessica passed away on the spot, with her younger
They
daughter
recorded
posting the
it?
final video on YouTube with the heartbreaking title, "My mom is dead, I think."
That's a
as
crazy.
recording
That's a
and uploading to the
crazy
internet
thing to
was what
post
Jessica had
on
taught them to
YouTube.
do.
That's a crazy thing to post on YouTube. Alright, bro, that's the end of the video. This is crazy, bro. Alright, y'all. Y'all want more stuff? Let me know in the comment section below, bro, of this video. Let me know, bro, in my community post, bro. You know what I'm saying? And follow me on the Discord, man. If y'all know my Discord, ask for it. I'll see it in the comment section below. Get in the Discord. Send me recommendations, bro, if y'all like this one, bro. Until next time, guys. I'm JC, and you're watching Jose Calamari. Later, people.